Hello everyone, this is Ashwin here. So I have an opportunity to attend a Google Foobar challenge. So this challenge will automatically come up when you search for some coding related answers or questions all related to tech stuff. If you're just doing the search in Google means they will automatically show you in the search page. So this is my friend got a link. So he just passed a few levels and after that he used his invite code for me to attend. So I already solved the first problem, that is first level. The first level question is almost similar to what I solved in HackerRank. So I will put the video in the right top corner. You can also go and check it how the problem works. So in that video, I would have suggested one solution like with a minor change, you can able to solve the first level in this Foobar challenge. Now I am going to solve the second level of this challenge. I think after 5 levels you can able to get an opportunity to interview at Google. So yeah, currently I will just solve the second challenge. So this is the terminal. So everything you have to do in this terminal. First let's display the files. So I'm already inside a folder that is don't get volunteered. This is the question I'm going to solve. So we have two languages, that is Java and Python. So these are the two popular languages. Apart from that, we have readme, that is the question file, and constraints give you the limits. Not related to the question, it is in general. So let's see the constraints before going to the question. So cat constraints. So this is for Java and this is for Python. Currently it's using Python 2.7. But I used Python 3 syntax. It is working fine. There is no problem at all. And we could not import these libraries because these are not related to some coding questions. So apart from that, other libraries can be imported like collections, math, other common modules we can able to use. And the solution file will contain a function and we just need to fill the code in the function and return the value. That is a result. Here also they have mentioned we have to give the solution under 32,000 characters. I think that is pretty much enough if I consider Python or Java. So that is the constraints. Let's see the question now. So cat readme. So this is the question. So before seeing the question, you can able to see we can able to verify the file. Verify solution.py means it can able to verify the file whether it's passing all the test cases or not. And if it's passing all the test cases means we can able to submit that file. So you will be using submit and that particular file name. And if the solution passes means this question is completely removed from my folder. And after that next level questions will be coming to that. So I'll be moving on to further levels based on solving the current level question. So this is the question name, don't get volunteered. As a henchman on Commander Lambda space station, you are expected to be resourceful, smart and a quick thinker. It's not easy building a doomsday device and ordering the bunnies around at the same time. After all, in order to make sure that everyone is sufficiently quick-witted, Commander Lambda has installed a new flooring outside the henchman dormitories. It looks like a chessboard and every morning and every evening you have to solve a new movement puzzle in order to cross the floor. That would be fine if you got to be the rook or the queen, but instead you have to be the knight. Worse, if you take too much time solving the puzzle, you get volunteered as a test subject for the lamb chop doomsday device. So this is like a story. It's almost similar to HackerRank. Like they will always come up with a story and follow up. We have to solve the problem. So to help yourself get to and from your bunk every day, write a function called solution with source and destination, which takes in two parameters: the source square on which you start and the destination square, which is where you need to land to solve the puzzle. The function should return an integer representing the smallest number of moves it will take for you to travel from the source square to the destination square using the chess knight's move, that is two squares in any direction immediately followed by a one square perpendicular to that direction or vice versa. It's in a L shape. Both the source and destination squares will be an integer between 0 and 63 inclusive and are numbered like the example chessboard below. So we have few things we have to consider. We have the source square and the destination square. So the source square can be any number and the destination square can also be any number. So our objective is to find the minimum number of moves to reach the destination, and so we have to use some searching algorithm. I'm going to use breadth first search with the help of Q. This problem is also similar to some problem in the HackerRank. You can also click on the right corner of this video to see that. So the logic will be similar. I'll be changing a few things for this problem. So here in the checkerboard we have to check for the condition that is not outside the checkerboard and it is valid or not, like that we have to check some constraints. So here I can able to edit the solution.py and type my code, and these are some cases. So for source 0 and 1 it will take 3 moves, and for source 19 and 36 it will take 1 move. Similarly for Java they have provided. So this is the whole question. Now our objective is clear. We have to code it for a while because this is somewhat a bigger problem. This is how the Google works. That's why we have to solve at least some number of questions in HackerRank to able to manage these questions. So I will just open the solution file. We have to code. So here they will give you an editor. Source and destination is there with a number, that is this numbers. Now I am going to use BFS to solve this problem. First, it is in a single number, right? I have to convert it into a coordinate. So I will consider this as a 8x8 matrix to solve this problem. So first I will create x-axis or the source. I will say yes. I will call a function convert coord. So I will pass the coordinate, that is source. Similarly I have to do this for the destination. So convert coord destination. So I will be just converting this single integer into a matrix representation, that is row and column representation. So I will create this function now, and after that I will just return bfs s comma d. So I will be calling this function. First let's define this convert coordinates. So def convert coord. So I'll be getting a value. I will say x. So now I have to convert into row and column based on the integer. So let's consider some number. If I consider 10, it's in the row 1 and column 2, 0, 1, 2. So if you consider means you have to divide by 8 for getting the row value. So I will say r equals int of x divided by 8. So this will give you the row index. So if I say 10 divided by 8 means it will be 1. So that is the row, and for the column we have to take modulus. So 10 modulus 8 is 2. So that will be the column. So I will say c equals int of x modulus 8. So these are the row and column. I will be just returning these thing in a tuple. So return r comma c. So these coordinates will be storing in the s and d. So I'll be passing this to this function bfs. Now let's define this function bfs here. Def bfs of again source and destination. Now we have to check for the base case. So base case, Base case is if the source and destination are in the same position, we will be returning 0. So if S equals D, return 0. So this is the base case. That means no moves are required to reach the destination. After that, we will go for the main logic. So for that we have to use queue, right? So for that I will just import that from collections, import dq. Now as I already said, the source is a tuple. So I will just convert it to some normal variables so we can able to easily use it. So that will be x equals s of 0 and y equals s of 1. So these are the coordinates. Now I will be initializing the q equals dq of and inside the list, and inside the list I will be having a tuple with x, y, that is the coordinates, and the number of moves. So initially it will be 0. So this is the q, and I also will create another dictionary. So I'll be creating visited. So this is almost similar to graph. So in visited, if I reach the cell once before means you don't have to reach that again. So that is our objective. So here also I will say x comma y as a key. That's a tuple. Will be having a value 1. Value can be anything. So I will just by default I will just place it as 1. So these are some initialization. Now we will go for the while loop. While q. So if the q has some element, I will pop one element that is from the front of the q. I will say u comma v comma count equals q dot pop left. So I'm just removing from the front of the queue, and after that we have to check all the possible paths that the knight can go. So they have mentioned it will go in a L-shaped manner. So here, so we have to mention all possible paths. So I will create a separate function for that. So now paths equals check paths. Check paths. I will pass the coordinates, that will be u and v. You can determine as x and y axis. So after that we have to iterate the path. So before continue this problem, I will just create that function check paths. So def check paths, I will say x and y. So that will be easier for us. So don't get confused, I'm using x here and x here. It's just a function, so it will be considered as a local variables. Now I have to mention all the possible paths that the knight can go. So currently we are using a matrix, right? I will say pass path. I'm going to store all it in a list. So pass path equals a list. Now in the list I will be creating a tuple. So it will be having all the possible paths. So x plus 2 comma y plus 1, and similarly another tuple x plus 2 comma y minus 1. So let's trace this, how this works. If I consider 10 means x plus 2 is, I'm just going for this index, so it will be converted into a row and column, that is x and y. So this is our current position, x and y. So x plus 2, that is in the row we will be moving 2 times, and y plus 1, so in the column we will be going 1 time. So this is a L shape. Similarly x plus 2 y minus 1 will cover this 25. So that is two possible paths. So similarly we will be doing for all the cases. I will just copy and paste it, so it will be easy for us to change the numbers. Okay, I don't know whether I can able to copy and paste it in this editor. Let's see this. Yeah, I can able to paste it. So after that, x minus 2, and here also x minus 2, columns will be the same. I'm just going in the upward direction. So upward direction in the sense, if I consider 18 means if it will go in the top side or upside, and remaining 4 moves, so that will be x plus 1, and here also plus 1. Everything will be plus 1 here, and y will be 2. So change every y equals 2. So here if you consider x plus 1, y plus 2, again let's consider 18. So x plus 1, it will go one row below, and y plus 2, so it will go 2 columns right side. So this is one case, and similarly y minus 2 means it will go to the left, and the last two cases are x minus 1. Okay, that I didn't mention. So this will be x minus 1, and here also x minus 1. So it will go upside a row or decrement a row and go left side and a right side. So these are the all possible paths that the knight can move. So from this we have to check whether it is in the within the chessboard or not. So for that, let's create paths equals a list. So here I am going to store everything. So I will say for a comma b in paths. So these are the coordinates of x and y. I'm just iterating here normally, and we have to check for the condition if 0 less than or equal to a less than or 8. This is a 8 cross 8 chessboard, so that's why I am just setting the limit 0 to 8. So it should be less than 8, and another thing is 0 less than or equal to b less than 8. So if it is satisfies the condition means I will just append it to the paths. So paths dot append, it is a tuple, so I will just append it as a tuple, and after that I will just return the paths. So this contains a list of tuples. It will have all the tuples that the knight can able to go, and now from this paths we will iterate again. So for path in paths, now I am going to check for the condition if it reaches the destination or not. So if path equals d, that is the destination, I will just return count plus 1. So we already popped out the count here, and it will be 1. I will just increment because we are traversing a path, right? Now this is one case. Another case will be if path not in visited, that means it will go for the next case. So if it's not in the visited dictionary means I will just make that as visited. So visited of path equals 1. I am just adding that tuple to the dictionary, and after that I will add the q. So q dot append, and again it will have a tuple. So in the tuple we'll be having the path of 0 and path of 1. Finally, I will say count plus 1. So this is the logic, and in case we will just return -1 if we cannot able to reach. But based on this question, they don't have this case, but it should be used in general. So yeah, it's good to use. And we have completed our code. Let's save it once. So it is saved. So I will explain the logic. I think it will work fine, or else we can also check it once if we want. So we will say verify solution.py. So press enter. Okay, I have checked it. I have missed a yes here. So pause paths, save it, and let's try it again. See, it has passed all the cases. So before submitting, I will just recap it once, because after that I can't able to access the file. So this is our question. So in the question, let's take the example as 0 or 0 to 1. So 0 is here, 1 is here. The possible path is you can able to 0 to 17 and 17 to 11 and 11 to 1. So it will take 3 moves. So first I'm just converting the source and destination into a matrix index. So it will be 0 comma 0 and the destination will be 0 comma 1, and I am just calling the function BFS. So in the BFS, so before that in the coordination, I'm just converting in single number into a row and column using this division and modulus. You may able to see this in many of the matrix problem for some purpose. And when we call this BFS function, we will be checking the base case, that is if source equals destination means we will return 0. Apart from that, we will initialize all these things. So here we are initializing a queue with the coordinates x and y and the count, and this is for not visiting the node again, so we don't have to redo the problem again. Or if you don't do this means it will give you a time limit. It will exit the time limit, that's for sure. And if some elements are available in the queue means the while loop will run. I'm just popping the front of the queue, that is u and v with count. These are the coordinates. I'm just popping these coordinates and assigning to these variables. So for these two coordinates, I'm just checking the paths, like all the possible paths using this function. So as I already mentioned, it will go in all the 8 direction of the night, and this condition will check whether the coordinate or within the chessboard or not. Sometimes it will go more than 8, or the index may go in the negative also. So with leaving those indexes, we will just append the coordinates which are satisfies this condition and return the list of paths. And after that, I'm just iterating each path and check whether we have reached the destination. So if we reach the destination means I will just increase the count by 1, or else we will go to the repeat the logic again. So if the path is not visited means I will just make the path as visited in the dictionary and upon those values into the queue by incrementing the count by 1. That means we are making a move. So that's why I'm just incrementing the count by 1. And this will do this for all the elements in the queue until we reach the destination. When we reach the destination, we'll be having the minimum number of moves to reach the destination. So that's how the logic works. As I already mentioned, this is almost similar to the HackerRank problem. That's why it's almost easy. I'm just adding this function if you consider that problem. Apart from that, everything is much similar. You just have to do it in a proper way. And I think that's it. So let's submit the solution. So to submit, I will just say submit solution.py. So it's just asking whether I have to submit the solution or not. So I will say yes. Now it's submitting the solution. Hope this works. So as you can able to see, the submission is successful. It just showing how much time I took for completing this challenge. So for each level, the number of problems vary. So for first level, they have just one problem, and for the second level, we have two problems. I just solved one. If you want to solve another, means I have to request and solve the problem again. So this is one of the challenges in the Foobar. So if you complete all the problems, means you may get a chance or to get some interview opportunity or get some goodies if possible. Yeah, I think that's it for this challenge. If I solve more problems, means I will definitely post the video. If you like this video and if you want any related videos similar to this, means please leave a comment below. I will try to make that if you want. Apart from that, if you like this video, hit the like button and don't forget to share this video if it is helpful for you. See you guys in the next video.